Most traders talk about panic like it's an ambush. It just hit me. I froze. I reacted. That's convenient and false. Panic is not a moment. It's the end of a process you ignored. No trader panics out of nowhere. They panic after stacking pressure without structure. They panic after building a position on hope instead of clarity. They panic after entering trades they couldn't fully explain. Panic doesn't come from the market, it comes from exposure. The moment price moves against you and you feel panic, that's not fear of loss. That's fear of being wrong without a plan to fall back on. Traders who don't panic aren't calmer people. They're people with fewer unknowns. Panic only appears when risk was unclear, execution was rushed, the trade wasn't fully owned. If you fully accept risk, panic has nowhere to live. If you secretly need the trade to work, panic becomes inevitable. So let's be honest. Most traders don't accept risk. They tolerate it conditionally, as long as price behaves. That's not acceptance. That's denial with a stop loss attached. And denial always ends the same way. Panic is not about money. That's the lie traders cling to because it sounds rational. If I risked less, I wouldn't panic. If I sized down, I'd be calm. No, you'd just panic quieter. If panic were about money, demo trading would cure it. It doesn't. Prop firms wouldn't break funded traders. They do. The reaction shows up even when the dollar amount is insignificant. That alone tells you the truth. Panic is about identity under threat. The moment price moves against you, your brain doesn't calculate loss first. It checks status. Was I right? Do I know what I'm doing? Am I still in control of this situation? And the second the answer isn't a clean yes, the alarm goes off. You don't panic when you lose money. You panic when you lose certainty. Specifically, certainty about who you think you are as a trader. You panic when price suggests. You misread structure. You forced the setup. You were early for no reason. You confused bias with confirmation. The loss hasn't even printed yet. Your account is fine. Your confidence isn't. That's why panic hits before damage, and your brain does what it always does when identity is threatened. It scrambles to regain control. Not real control, psychological control. That's where the bad behavior starts. Early exits that make no sense. Stop losses dragged further, just in case. Take profits snatched like stolen goods. Then hesitation on the next clean setup because now you don't trust yourself. The irony is brutal. You enter the trade confident. Price moves a little against you. And suddenly you don't trust the same analysis you were willing to risk money on 5 minutes ago. That's not logic failing. That's ego flinching. Because a loss doesn't just say, this trade didn't work. It whispers something much darker. It says, you might not be as good as you think. Your read might be noise. Your edge might be fragile. Your progress might be fake. And that's intolerable. So panic intervenes. Do something, anything, close it, adjust it, touch it. Even if the action is objectively worse, it restores one thing instantly: agency. I'm doing something. I'm not just sitting here. I'm not powerless. That relief is addictive. That's why traders repeat panic behavior even after seeing the damage it causes. The brain doesn't care about long-term expectancy in that moment. It cares about short-term identity preservation. Panic is not fear of loss. It's fear of exposure. Exposure to the idea that you don't fully know what you're doing yet. And here's the part most traders choke on. They don't want to remove panic. They want to remove the feeling without removing the cause. They want calm without acceptance, confidence without surrender, control without humility. They try breathing techniques, affirmations, music, distractions. None of it works consistently because you're treating the symptom and protecting the disease. The disease is needing to be right, needing the trade to confirm your self-image, needing wins to prove progress. As long as your identity is tied to outcome, panic will always be waiting. It's patient. It doesn't show up on winning streaks. It shows up the moment the market stops cooperating. That's why traders swear they were fine yesterday. Yesterday didn't challenge them. Today did. And the market is very good at finding exactly where you're emotionally leveraged. You don't get panic because you care too much. You get panic because you haven't accepted who you are without the trade working. Acceptance is the part nobody wants because it feels like surrender. It isn't. It's resignation from a fake role you were never qualified to play. The role of always right, always sharp, always in control. Real traders don't operate there. They operate from defined risk, defined failure, defined indifference to outcome. Not because they don't care, but because they don't need the trade to protect their identity. Until you reach that point, calm is just a performance, and panic will keep ripping the mask off under pressure. You don't need confidence. Confidence collapses under uncertainty. You need acceptance. Acceptance that you will be wrong. Acceptance that price doesn't owe you clarity. Acceptance that being a trader means living inside uncertainty without flinching. That's not motivational. That's the job. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the same place panic lives. The difference is one of them owns you, and the other one sets you free. Most traders think the cure for panic is experience. It'll go away with screen time. It fades as you trade more. Sometimes, usually not. What actually happens is avoidance. Traders avoid panic by trading smaller without fixing behavior, avoiding high-quality setups because they feel scary, over-managing to feel safe, sitting out volatility entirely. That's not growth. That's shrinkage. You're not becoming the trader who doesn't panic. You're becoming the trader who avoids situations that expose panic. And avoidance always hardens the fear, because the next time you do face uncertainty, it feels even sharper. The traders who don't panic did not eliminate uncertainty. They eliminated surprise. They know exactly where they're wrong, how much it costs, what happens next. No ambiguity. Most traders enter positions hoping clarity will arrive later. It doesn't. It arrives before the trade or never at all. That's the dividing line. Here's the part nobody romanticizes. The trader who doesn't panic is boring. They size in a way that feels almost conservative. They stop trading earlier than feels productive. They accept being wrong publicly and repeatedly. They don't need trades to validate them, because their identity is not tied to outcome. They know exactly where the trade fails. They expect it to happen sometimes. They don't flinch when it does. No drama, no scrambling, just execution. To become that trader, you need three things. 1. Pre-accepted loss, emotionally, not conceptually. 2. Binary trade logic. Either it works or it doesn't. 3. Rules that remove reaction, not guidelines. If you're still asking what if, panic will always find you. If you're still entering trades you hope work, panic owns you. The market does not punish panic. It waits for it. And the traders who survive are not the ones who feel less. They're the ones who stop needing the market to protect their identity. That's the level. Anything below it will keep breaking under pressure.